Listen to news updates on Ebonadi 103.5 FM immediately after Angeles 6 o'clock a.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. weekdays. Stay tuned to be updated, to be informed. News updates, live reports. Ebonadi FM breaks the news.
I believe that people are hoping for a new Nigeria.
You can as well listen online via mixlr.com/gistfm.
Good evening and welcome to Ebona, the 103.5 FM news update. Today, Thursday, the 26th day of January 2023, and the time is a minute past the hour of 6. Martin Ifan Shukwekezie is my name. The headlines. Fire raises phone plaza in Anambra Market. 2023, vote for my father because I married from Igbo land. Chris Ohizu, IPOB laments murder of Imo local government boss. Top Nigerian lawyer speaks on death of Abia PDP Guba candidate, explains step party must take in 14 days. Soludo hosts Southeast governors in Anambra. Melta welcoming Trump back on Facebook and Instagram. Now, the details. Fire raises phone plaza in Anambra Market. Mobile phones and other accessories worth millions of naira were on Tuesday destroyed by fire at a plaza opposite Eke Oka Market, Anambra State capital. The fire, which started around 7:29 p.m., was reportedly caused by a power surge. Eyewitnesses said aside phone accessories that were destroyed in the inferno, some of the roofing sheets of the building were also affected by the fire. Anambra Fire Chief, Engineer Martin Abili, confirmed the incident, saying the fire would have spread to other nearby buildings if not for quick response of his men. 2023, vote for my father because I married from Igbo land. Son of the presidential candidate of the All Progressive Congress APC, Sheyi Tinubu, has begged electorates in Anambra State to vote for his father at the forthcoming polls. According to him, he is appealing to Ndibo and the Igbo region at large to vote for his father, the APC flag bearer, Bola Tinubu, at next month's election because he is married to an Igbo lady. Sheyi Tinubu, as gathered by newsmen, made the passionate appeal on Tuesday when he visited Anambra State to canvass for support for his father. He said electorates in the state should vote for his father because he has good intentions and also the good of the people at heart. Sheyi Tinubu, who was conferred with the chieftaincy title of Nwanne the Number by the traditional ruler of the Mba Ukwu Kingdom, Igwe Peter Anunkwe, in the Oka South local government area of the state, earlier at the Nigerian Union of Journalists Press Center in Oka, assured electorates that his father is up to the task of ruling the country into prosperity. He stated that Bola Ahmed Tinubu has the experience, tolerance, and capacity to change the fortunes of Nigerians for the best. Everyone has acknowledged that his core strength is his vision for peace, progress, economic development. He also has a penchant for discovering, nurturing, and empowering talents. Testimonies abound across Nigeria: Igbos, Yorubas, Fulanis, Efiks, Ibibios, Hausas, and all other tribes. So I am appealing to Ndi, Anambra, and Igbo region at large to vote for my father because I married an Igbo lady, he stated. The Anambra State chairman of the NUG, Dr. Odogwu Emeka Odogwu, who was represented by his vice, Mrs. Ngozi Obieri, at the conference, assured Sheyi Tinubu of the union's readiness in reporting issues that will sustain the already existing peace and unity and oneness of the country. Along with him on the visit were former Chief of Protocol and Deputy Chief of Staff to Governor Willie Obiano of Anambra State, Uzuegbunam Okabwe, APC youth leaders, and supporters in the state. Chris Ohizu, IPOB laments murder of Imo local government boss. The indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, has said sponsored criminals whose groups spokesman lamented the spate of insecurity in the state will soon become politically irrelevant, according to Powerful. We, the global movement and family of the indigenous people of Biafra IPOB, under the leadership and command of the indefatigable Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, condemned the barbaric murder of Mr. Chris Ohizu from Idato North local government of Imo State. The barbaric murder, beheading, recording, and viral video of Idato North sole administrator Chris Ohizu is a premeditated action by sponsored criminals whose agenda is to blackmail the Biafra struggle. Though the assailants distanced themselves from IPOB and ESN, yet talking about Biafra in their barbaric murder of a Biafran in Biafra soil is not acceptable to IPOB. IPOB is worried over the numerous sponsored killings, kidnappings, and illegal abductions of civilians in the southeast, especially in Imo State, because of Hope Uzodinma's illegal political maneuvers, he stated. Meanwhile, the Imo State government, led by Hope Uzodinma on Tuesday, said it has charged security agencies to leave no stone unturned in finding those behind Sunday's murder of the sole administrator of Idaho North local government area, Chris Ohizu. News reports that government also appealed to unknown gunmen to resist the temptation of going ahead with this bloodletting. This was contained in a statement on Tuesday by the State Commissioner of Information and Strategy, Declan Emetumba. The government's message was in reaction to the killing of Ohizu by the unknown gunmen, a catch-all for the criminal gangs carrying out frequent bouts of attacks on Southeast residents and government facilities. Top Nigerian lawyer speaks on death of Abia PDP Guba candidate, explains step party must take in 14 days. The death of Uchenna Ikonne, the Abia governorship candidate for the 2023 general elections, has come as a shock to many Nigerians. Ikonne, who was contesting the Abia state governorship seat in the forthcoming election under the platform of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), was said to have died after a brief illness. The PDP has been advised to ensure that the party conducts a fresh primary election to replace the late Uche Ikonne in Abia State. With the 2023 general election less than 5 weeks away, the death of the academician turned politician has raised many questions regarding the fate of the PDP in the state and the party's next line of action, with the polls fast approaching. Many Nigerians of different walks of life have had their opinions on what is expected of the party. However, the Electoral Act 2022, as amended, has taken into consideration the actions a party is expected to take should such instances occur. The former Vice Chancellor of Abia State University, Absu Oturu, said Ikonne's passing and the PDP's line of action is not a matter that can be subjected to opinions. Citing Section 33 of the Electoral Act 2022 as amended, Tiatia said the law is clear in a case where a candidate passes prior to an election. His words: "This is not a matter that is subjected to opinions or preferences because the law is clear when the facts are that a candidate, not an aspirant, has died. That is a candidate whose name has already been submitted to INEC. In that case, only a fresh primary election conducted within 14 days of the death of the candidate will solve the problem. It cannot be negotiated. There is no easy way out. The only way out is to stick to the provisions of Section 33 of the Electoral Act 2022 as amended, which states that a political party should not be allowed to change or substitute its candidate whose name has been submitted under Section 29 of this Act, except in the case of death or withdrawal by a candidate. Provided that in case of such withdrawal or death of a candidate, the party affected shall within 14 days of the occurrence of the event hold a fresh primary election and submit a fresh candidate to the commission for the election concerned. Implications of not conducting a primary election, contrary to reports and claims that Ikonne's running mate or the aspirant who came second during the primary election can replace him. Tiatia said applying such a route would mean double jeopardy for the PDP. He added a fresh primary election must be conducted and not necessary that he can be replaced with the person that came second or third, or the person he has already picked as running mate can substitute him as a governorship candidate for the party. Unless the PDP wants to jeopardize its chances having lost its candidate and then taking a route that is illegal and could virtually lead to barrage of internal crisis and legal challenges afterwards. The PDP governorship flag bearer in Abia State, Professor Uche Ikonne, died after suffering from a brief illness. A statement from his son, Chikezie Uche Ikonne, said the governorship hopeful just returned from the UK where he had received treatment and was getting better. However, the professor relapsed and was confronted with multiple cardiac arrests, which he did not survive. Soludo to host Southeast governors in Anambra. Southeast governors and other regional stakeholders are expected to be in Anambra State today, Thursday, for a two-day Human Capital Development (HCD) conference. Newsmen gathered at the event, which will be hosted by the state governor, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, is themed Changing the Narrative towards Entrenching Human Capital Development in Southeast Nigeria. In a statement, Deputy Governor and Chairman, Human Capital Development Council in the state, Dr. Onyekachuku Ibezim, said that one of the conference's objectives was to enable the region to articulate and profile HCD solutions. He said that the conference outcome will enable the region to strengthen partnerships with key stakeholders and forge stronger alliances within the region to build a stronger southeastern Nigeria. The two-day conference is scheduled to hold on the 26th and the 27th of January 2023 at the International Convention Center, ICC, Oka, Anambra State, and will commence at 8:30 a.m. daily. The conference will have in attendance governors of all the southeastern states and the key stakeholders driving human capital development in the region. The statement partly reads. Now we move over to the foreign scene. Meta welcoming Trump back on Facebook and Instagram. Facebook parent company Meta has announced the former President Donald Trump will be reinstated on Facebook and Instagram, ending a ban on his accounts following the January 6th riot at the US Capitol. Social media is rooted in the belief that open debate and the free flow of values, especially at a time when they are under threat in many places around the world. As a general rule, we don't want to get in the way of open, public, and democratic debate on Meta's platforms, especially in the context of elections in democratic societies like the United States. The public should be able to hear what their politicians are saying, the good, the bad, and the ugly, so that they can make informed choices at the ballot box. But that does not mean there are no limits to what people can say on our platform when there is a risk of real world harm, a deliberately high bar for Meta to intervene in public discourse. We act, according to the statement released by Meta authorities. 2 years ago, we took action in what were extreme and highly unusual circumstances. We indefinitely suspended then US President Donald Trump's Facebook and Instagram accounts following his praise for people engaged in violence at the Capitol on January 6, 2021. We then referred that decisions to the Oversight Board, an expert body established to be an independent check and balance on our decision making. The board upheld the decision but criticized the open-ended nature of the suspension and the lack of clear criteria for whether suspended accounts will be restored, directing us to review the matter to determine a more proportionate response. In response to the board, we imposed a time-bound suspension of 2 years from the date of the original suspension on January 7, 2021, an unprecedented length of time for such a suspension. We also clarified the circumstances in which accounts of public figures could be restricted during times of civil unrest and ongoing violence, and introduced a new crisis policy protocol to guide our assessment of on and off platform risk of imminent harm so we can respond with specific policy and product actions. In our response to the Oversight Board, we also said that before making any decision on whether or not to lift Mr. Trump's suspension, we would assess whether the risk to public safety has receded. The suspension was an extraordinary decision taken in extraordinary circumstances. The normal state of affairs is that the public should be able to hear from a president of the United States and a declared candidate for that office again on our platforms. Mr. Trump is subject to our community standards in light of his violations. He now also faces heightened penalties for repeat offenses, penalties which will apply to other public figures whose accounts are reinstated from suspensions related to civil unrest under our updated protocol. In the event that Mr. Trump posts further violating content, the content will be removed and he will be suspended for between 1 month and 2 years, depending on the severity of the violation. This is where we draw the curtain on news update on Ebona at the 103.5 FM. But before we leave, a quick look at the headlines. Fire raises phone plaza in Anambra Market. 2023, vote for my father because I married from Igbo land. Chris Ohizu, IPOB laments murder of Imo local government boss. Top Nigerian lawyer speaks on death of Abia PDP Guba candidate. Explains steps party must take in 14 days. Soludo hosts Southeast governors in Anambra. Meta welcoming Trump back on Facebook and Instagram. You just listened to news update on Ebon at 103.5 FM. News produced and read by Martin Ifa and Shukwekize. Thank you for listening to Ebon at 103.5 FM news update. Once again, good evening.
Listen to news updates on Ebon immediately after Angeles 6 o'clock a.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. weekdays.
So,
stay tuned to be updated. To be
subscribe, like videos, share.
reports.
Go through the channel. We'll have a lot of content for you. Thank you so much.
That if we are looking for a new Nigeria,